Hello again, guys. When I was at CES early this year, I had the chance to meet with a company that was working on a Kickstarter project for the foot hammock. It is now December of 2015, same year. The Kickstarter campaign has ended and foot hammock has arrived. Now, unfortunately, this video is gonna take a few days for me to make, so it's time to get started. I say that because it came with a little instruction booklet, and by instruction booklet, I mean one teeny little piece of paper that mentions in two places, wait 24 hours before proceeding. So that's a total of 48 hours this is gonna take. But in case you couldn't figure out what it was from the name of the product, the foot hammock is a hammock for your feet. The Kickstarter project, they had several different versions available. There was the traditional mesh foot hammock, there was a fleece foot hammock, and then there was a heated fleece foot hammock. So really just different materials and different components, but it's a small piece of fabric of some form or fashion with straps that attach to your desk using hooks, and the hooks have some really ridiculously strong material in them that sits between them and the desk to hold them on. That's why it takes 24 hours for the glue to set up on the hooks, and then you attach it and you wait another 24 hours before you can put any sort of weight on the hammock itself. But basically once you get it attached to your desk and you've got it all good to go, while you're sitting at your desk, you can prop your feet up. And I love this idea. And what's more, because they hit a certain stretch goal, every single person who ordered one from the Kickstarter campaign also got a mini fleece blanket. This should attach to the foot hammock in some way and allows you to keep your feet nice and toasty warm in those winter months, which it is now, kind of. But too much blathering on, let's see what is in this package. Ooh, it's a zippered package. That's very nice. There is, of course, again, a little booklet here. It talks about the hook installation, the heating pad installation, if you have the heating pad, the magnetic blanket. It's magnetic, I forgot. So the additional blanket that came with it is magnetic, and there's some warnings and how you should use it, how you should not use it, ways not to die while using it. Otherwise, in the bag, there's the hammock itself, which is a stretchy mesh kind of material, very lightweight and cotton feeling. It actually has zippers on the end here and just simple PVC pipe in the ends. That's actually kind of nice. It means if something happens and this were to snap, you could very easily replace it. Just run to the hardware store. But then on the ends, you have these two little straps that basically you hook it to the desk with this, and you can use the straps to pull it down tight to make it go up toward the desk, or release it to make it looser to make it accommodate your feet a little better. Also in the package, there are two hooks, one for either side of your desk, so again the foot hammock can hook into it, and it actually comes with a couple of screws. I did not expect that. And it looks like the hook actually has two screw holes in it, so I would assume if you wanted to, you could technically just screw it into your desk. But having the pad on there, and it's a 3M supposedly replaceable pad, means that you don't have to damage your desk to install this. You just put the pad on there kind of like that, you leave it sitting for a day exposed, and then you hook it onto the desk. I'm a little bit torn as to which one I actually want to do. I like the idea of having the adhesive, just in case I do end up wanting to move my desk around or something, but realistically, being able to drill it in might not be a bad option. Although I have an IKEA desk, so it's hollow, so maybe not. And the last thing that you get, at least in my case, in the case of the majority of the Kickstarter backers, is this fleece magnetic blanket. Yep, these are definitely magnets. Magnets, how do they work? And they're decently strong. They're not neodymium. They're not that kind of magnet, but they are strong magnets. And then there are actually magnets that I neglected to mention here on the back of this. This would be the part that faces away from you. So effectively you'll hang it up on your desk, kind of like this being facing away from me. And then you can put your foot hammock foot blanket on there and have it just magnetically attached like that. And you are good to go for warm, comfy feet. So at this point, I'm gonna take a few seconds and go ahead and get this all prepped up so that tomorrow I can install it on the desk. And the day after, I can install the foot hammock on it. So we'll be right back. And actually, just in case you were curious, I'm gonna go ahead and install this on here. Just clean any dirt or dust off the hook. I did that very quickly there. Peel the yellow paper off the adhesive. So there we go. There's the yellow paper peeled off. Place the gray exposed adhesive on the black hook and apply pressure on the adhesive, squeezing out any air bubbles. This is where things get awkward because it's very, very sticky, and it's supposed to be. And I don't want to ruin this, so I gotta try to line it up and also do it on camera. Ooh, I can smell that adhesive. All right, so we've got that. Just kind of iron out the air bubbles, get it on there firmly, squeezing out the air bubbles, making sure there aren't any air bubbles. Because really, this is gonna be holding my feet up, and there are air bubbles that I can't get to squeeze out. Well, I think I squeezed out the majority of the air bubbles. You can kind of see there's a little bit of bubbling in there. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. There may be just imperfections in the metal. So I'm gonna do the same thing to this other one, and at that point, you just wait for 24 hours. There we go. That one I think went on a lot more cleanly, a lot more evenly. Much, much better. Still, neither one's really horrible. This one just has a couple of weird little bubbles to it. So yeah, we're gonna wait for another 24 hours. We're gonna peel this off and stick it to the desk. Well, I didn't exactly do it on camera. I took a little bit of time yesterday to actually install these. They seem to be pretty firmly installed at this point. Basically just pulled the other side of the glue strip off, stuck it on there, and held it firmly in place for, I don't know, 20 or 30 seconds a piece. So at this point, it is time to go ahead and put this in place. Yes, I'm sitting in the floor right now. And the majority of this process is just take the strap, run it up through here, pull it down through, attach all of this. I did mine kind of like this. You just run it down and back up. Repeat the process on the other side and you are golden. Now, unfortunately, as you may be able to tell, I've got mine a little bit close together and that's definitely a bummer. But what can you do? I wanted to have it in a place where it was not taking up the entirety of the underside of the desk. And this is definitely wide enough to put my feet in. So I've gone ahead and tightened it up and I've put my hand in it and just given it a lot of pressure and it's definitely holding. So now the ultimate test. Apologies in advance, hairy legs incoming. There you go. Feet in a foot hammock. And actually this is really comfortable, I gotta say. But if it's not high enough or low enough, you can always adjust it using the straps. I've kind of gotten it to a point where my legs are hanging comfortably though. I could make it higher if I wanted to, and I could make it lower. No problems. It's really easy to adjust, and it's holding very, very nicely. And as I mentioned previously, if you want to, you can go ahead and install the blanket to go on top of it. And actually, after looking at it again, pretty sure I had mine installed backwards. So I've now got these little U logos facing the front so that the blanket can actually attach to the underside of the back. So now, we go ahead and put the feet in again, and now we have a nifty little magnetic blanket to keep our legs and feet toasty warm. So all in all, so far, for the price that I paid for this, I'm definitely very pleased with it. I really wish that I would have installed this hook about 6 to 8 inches, maybe even as much as a foot, farther over that way, just so that I would have a little bit more foot space inside of here. But I do have plenty of space. It's not really that big of a deal. So I will put some information down in the description to where you can find out more about the foot hammock if that's something that you're interested in. Definitely don't think that it's available for the price that I paid for it anymore. It was one of those Kickstarter exclusive things. But if this is one of those first world problems that you have and you're interested in picking one of these up for yourself, links down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, and I will see you again next time.